the grappler I am now destroy the Christina back then. Like my grappling now,
way better.
So I just dove in. I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to dive into this. Like I can't do jiu-jitsu for MMA. I need to just dive into it.
Yes.
And I've learned. So now I'm fine. I'm good on my back. I usually go down now, but trying to work on that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, so like, I'm like, man, if I were to be who I am now,
yes,
then I probably would have won the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you know,
is it making you want to fight again, or?
I mean, I'm always like every fight, I'm all, that's my last one. That's my last one. Cause I hate cutting weight.
Yes.
But I miss the competition. And like every time I train and people are like, gosh, you're so still good. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I take care of myself, you know, so that's the biggest thing as well. And I feel like as humans, as athletes, we're progressing. So when you would have thought 38, 39 would have been old, it's not.
Yeah. Once you're there, you're like, oh, okay, this isn't that old.
No.
But when you're in your 20s, you're like, that's ancient.
Yeah. I haven't slowed down. Everything feels good. Yeah. Besides for a tear.
Just a little tear.
Yeah. It's fine.
And so now are you like thinking about getting back
definitely in combat jiu-jitsu. I want to do that because anytime I do regular jiu-jitsu, I forget not to hit.
You forget not to hit.
My last one, I hit my person twice. It's such
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And going
just jiu-jitsu,
I forget.
What happened when you hit? Were you like, I'm sorry?
Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry because I don't mean to.
What did the girl say?
She's like, it's okay. She just looks at me and she was like, when I found out that you were in my bracket, she's like, oh, she's the fighter. Like people, I'm like, it's so weird because I never know what people think. I'm like, and then everyone's like, yeah, we heard that you're in there, and I'm all like, people know who I am.
Yeah.
And then she's like, and then you hit me. She's like, but then you were so apologetic and nice about it.
Oh my god.
So going from MMA to like just straight boxing, I'm okay with that. I don't forget to not take down or not kick. That's fine. Because people are like, you don't forget to kick. I'm like, no. It's going to just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
That is it's such an instinct to just hit. You throw, like, if you move or jerk or something like that, I want to throw something.
Right.
And that's what happened. The first time she went like this, I went, bop. I was like, oh my God. The second time I threw her down.
Would you hit her with a jab? Or
yeah. And I was like, The second time went down automatically in MMA. You want to hit. And so I hit. I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like, I need to combat.
Was this in an actual fight?
No, it was jiu-jitsu over here in the Downmore Fair ones.
Okay, gotcha.
So I was like, we need to switch over to combat.
So it's combat jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? You can do jiu-jitsu and hit.
Yeah.
Kicks and
no kicks. You can just hit open palm.
Open palm.
Yeah.
Not a closed fist.
Not a closed fist.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. They had one showing here at the Hard Rock.
They did?
And they have quite a few all around. Yeah. So Versa is the ones that do like.
So that's you would like to do that?
Yeah, I had an opportunity to do it the end of last year, but I pulled out some issues with my brother, and then we just felt like it was a better time for me to pull out for right now.
And now it's open hand. Isn't that a problem for you? Like, aren't you used to closing your hand?
I'll be better with an open hand than I can do that because we were learning that stuff. So, but better than not hitting at all.
So there's no combat jiu-jitsu where you can actually close the fist.
Mm-mm.
No, it's open hand.
It's open hand.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so then now let's talk some stuff about your training. Okay. Talking about when you train athletes, like what's the mentality? What do you say then when you start taking them on?
Mm-hmm.
Give me how you coach your training, your clients, and because I want the listeners and viewers to kind of take something from if they're looking to get in shape.
Yeah.
Back in shape, whatever.
When it comes to like the younger athletes, the parents will tell me what they think that their kid needs to work on. I'm like, okay, but I always want to ask the athlete.
Yeah.
Because I don't ever want to say, oh, this is what your parents said you need to do, and they're like, they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. Like, I don't need that. I'm like, what do you think you need to work on? They'll tell me, and then if they have video of them playing or whatever it is, I'll watch it. I'll even come to their game, and then I'll just break it down and just do it. If there's footwork, if it's speed, learning how to change speeds, especially in soccer. They can't just have one. It's either opening it up or closing up the stride, when to turn, switches. So it really depends on what that person needs. I go ahead and do that. For clients, majority of my clients are weight loss. So I have a couple of certs. My next one that I'm in the middle of is to be a certified nutritional coach because I'm really into like the nutrition.
Right.
Not all one diet fits all.
Correct.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
What I eat, what I do is not going to work for the next person. My metabolism is really fast. What I burn and everything. They're like, so what did you eat? Well, what I eat, you shouldn't be eating probably.
Right. Yeah.
I'm eating and I'm trying to gain a little more muscle, So it really depends on what that client wants. But my biggest go-to is always, they're like, well, I need to get to X amount of weight. And I need to do all these things. I'm like, we're not going to look at all that.
Yeah.
We need to look at one thing. Once we master that, it's the next one. It's the next one. Because if you try to do all the things at once, no one's going to succeed.
It's
overbearing. I can be like, that's a
and
lot.
And then they fail.
They fail.
Because they're focused on way too many things.
Way too much.
So break this down.
The usual one thing I want them to focus on is water.
Water.
It's the first number one.
Yeah.
Most people are like, I drink a lot of water. I'm like, oh, you do? How much? And they'll be like 30 ounces.
Yeah.
I'm like, your body is made up of 60% of water.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. So it's off of your age, weight, and height as I break it down. And I'll this is how much water you need. Bare minimum. You drink caffeine, you got to add another cup because caffeine dehydration.
Correct.
So the biggest thing, especially with females, we retain more water in those areas that we don't like.
Yes.
So to get rid of it, we have to give our body
more water
to release the water. Just like food.
Yeah. Yeah.
When someone's like, I only have one big trashy meal. I'm like, well, your body's in starvation mode.
Yeah.
It's going to store that right now. Can I eat one meal and be fine? Yeah, my body's in a different type of, I can eat one. I do Mondays. I do a 24-hour fast. I can still work out. Yeah, I just because it resets yourself. It resets yourself. It's a natural detox.
Go deeper on the fast here because I'm intermittent fasting. I'm hearing more about fasting.
Yeah, so I'd like to do it on Monday. So from Sunday night to Monday night. Yep. I just did 24 hours, and it just is a natural way for your body to detox. And it starts to feed off of the little fatty cells.
Correct. Yeah.
So,
the autophagy.
Yeah, exactly. And I still do all my workouts. I'm fine. I'm still okay. It's not like I feel depleted or anything like that. I'm good. So that's what I like to do on Mondays to reset myself after the weekends or whatever happened. So I usually do that on Mondays. And a lot of times during the week, I probably won't eat until 12.
I love this.
Yeah.
I'm studying this more and more about the whole fasting thing. It's a major thing because back in the day, bodybuilding style, I was like, let me eat 8 freaking meals.
Yeah.
But I'm finding out now that really isn't that good for you to eat that many meals all day. The body needs to reset itself.
Right. So I tend especially with clients, I'm like, tell me your lifestyle. A lot of times people don't want to eat breakfast, but I know I need to eat. I'm like, they don't eat it.
Yeah.
If you don't eat, I'm like, but just try to get your calories in that amount of time. So usually it's an 8-16 I have them in.
Yeah.
8 hours, they can eat their food. 16 hours, you fast.
This is what you're telling your clients.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. And I'm like, what's the last time you want to eat? So depending on your time, your lifestyle. Not everyone's going to stop at 6 and you don't get home until 8 or 9. That's crazy.
Right.
I don't get home until 8. Why would I stop eating at 6? I'm gonna be starving.
Exactly.
So I'm like, so if it's at 8 o'clock, you want to stop eating? Okay. So usually you're gonna start to eat at 12.
12. Okay. So 12.
So that's at 8 hours. Eat your
because that's 16 total.
Yeah. So eat the food, and I'll give them a whole nutritional guidelines. This is good protein. This is good carbs.
You keep it simple.
Keep it simple. And then work from those, and then eat, and then I'll.
Are there days where they don't have carbs? Is it always protein and carbs?
It depends on that individual. I'll sometimes carb cycle depending on what they want to do.
Explain carb cycling because I do that, but
yeah. So as I'll have like for me, and I try to have my bigger carbs or that day when I'm going to probably hit legs.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, but I'll carb cycle mean I'm having high carbs, and as I'm going down in my days, start making it smaller and smaller. Right. So, and my body's fine with that. It's probably going to start eating all the other stuff.
How many days do you do that? Is it a 5-day plan or a 3-day?
I go usually 3.
High, medium, low, high, medium, low.
Yeah. For me, I do that just because I like to have heavy.
Do you know what kind of macro count your high day is? How many grams of carbs?
Carbs, usually I'm at a 200 something for protein. Carbs is a
400,
something like that. Yeah. And then I mix it to where it's barely that much. And then fats are usually low. Yeah. Because fats kind of goes up really fast. You have an avocado, there's your fat.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the client. But I do all that for them. I find out what's the resting metabolic rate is.
How do you find that out?
Off of your age, weight, and height. There's a calculator as well that you can do it, or there's a whole math thing. But that tells me what your body burns just being alive.
Right. Yeah.
So what that rate is, that's how many calories you need. And that's where you start off with. So
Start there.
Start there. Someone is,
and that's based on a calculation based on their height,
rate, age, weight, and height. That's your resting metabolic rate, and that's how many calories your body burns just being you.
Yep.
And then from there, if you're on like weight loss, that's the max you can have.
That's the max.
Yeah. If you're trying to muscle gain, we need more than that.
Yeah.
So it depends on where they're going. From there, I break it down their macros with their protein, carbs,
And explain what a macro is.
A macro is going to be based off of your protein, carbs, and fats. And
those are the macros.
Those are your macros.
Yep.
And then you break it down of how much, like, so carbs can be, like we said, 400 or 200 or 100, whatever it is. And I tell you in that 1,000, whatever, what you're going to eat is this, this, and that. And usually I tell them to go on MyFitnessPal. That can kind of help you.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to do that, send me a picture of what you're eating. I can kind of figure out what it was. And it kind of helps them stay on track as well.
And this is their 8-hour eating window.
Right.
Do you tell them you can eat twice, 3? Do you tell them how many? How like every 2 hours during that?
I say listen to your body, but I mean 2-3 hours in between if you want. Yeah, it really depends. But the water, the first thing I make them do.
Tell me about the water thing. Let's get into that.
Huge.
What do you mean? How do you start that? How do you get them to drink more?
Yeah. So I'm like, how much?
This is for everybody, buddy.
Yeah,
everybody listening, whether you're training or not. You should.
Yeah.
Drink a lot of water.
And especially because you want to take off that water. So if they're saying, if I need you to drink, let me say 80 ounces, or there's 128 ounces in a gallon.
Right.
So let's say I need you to drink 90, but you're only at 40. Okay, let's go to 50. Once that's manageable, okay.
And how do you tell them to have a shaker? Give me what you instruct them how to make it easy, because I have shakers, and I know if I drink 8 shakers a day.
I ask them what's easy for them.
Okay.
Is it a gallon that you see the marks, or is it this one whole one? Whatever it is that makes it, because what I do for myself may not be easy for you.
Right.
You know, and sometimes people are like, no, I don't want to carry that big gallon. Okay. So you need to fill this up 7 times or whatever it is, you know, and soon as they start doing it, it starts getting easier, and then they'll start seeing actually weight start going down.
Isn't that amazing? Just from water.
Just from water.
Just from water.
Yeah, it's like the number one thing. Or I'll get girls, well, your stomach, like, I don't get my abs. I'm like, well, you have probably some water right there. I'm like, trust me, drink more water and you'll start to see your stomach, your waistline go down.